All right, let's bring in the Mr. Ray Johnson. Bring him in!
Here is Ray Johnson!
Oh my God, Ray, it's so good to see you, man. How you feeling?
It's good to be here. It's good to be here. I didn't get to say hi to Gary earlier, so Gary, hello. And
hello.
Jeff, as always, pleasure to be here. It's great to be able to do this with you guys every so often. I appreciate you being willing to let me come in and speak my mind on a book or two, you know.
Well, we appreciate you coming in and bringing all of your fans with you, right? Everyone, I think that's why people are coming to see this episode.
Yeah, my cat watches when I'm here.
Awesome. So what do you have for us today?
I am going to be reviewing A Snake's Life. I just got this book and listened to it, and I really enjoyed it a lot. I think it had a couple issues with it, and I'll go through it. But I think overall, and again, it's weird, and I'll go through it all. So is it okay to start?
Actually, we'll go ahead. Ahmed, go ahead and kick us out, and then we'll come back and make fun of you after you're done.
But please do. Yeah, please. Okay. So today I'm reviewing A Snake's Life by Kenneth Arant, narrated by Travis Baldry, which is a book length of about 8 hours and 9 minutes, if I remember correctly. Now, I'm going to read to you the publisher's summary, and it goes like this. The afterlife isn't always what you think. A loving father of 3 children, Albert lived a life with few regrets. He served his country far from home. He outlived his soulmate. He died alone. However, his assumptions about a peaceful eternity reunited with his love are thrown out the window when a meddling God digs his fingers into Albert's afterlife. The positive, he will have a chance to see his wife again. The negative, he has to survive the dangers of the legendary world tree for the next 300 years. He's been reincarnated into a world full of magical evolutions, monstrous deer, sassy 10-year-old elves, and untold dangers. It won't be easy, but if life has taught Albert anything, it's this. If something is worth having, it's worth fighting for, and he intends to fight. So Snake's Life is a really good book that follows Albert, as you heard, a generally all-around nice guy who kind of misses his wife, and Albert dies. No spoiler. It happens right away at the beginning of the book, and he learns that as he's about to move on into the afterlife, he will not be reunited with his wife because she's been taken to another world. Her spirit is being ready to be prepared to become physically a hero in another world. And so it would be a long time before he gets to see her once more in the afterlife. And rather than just kind of saying, okay, I can wait, it's eternity after all, I guess he has a little bug up his butt, and he decides to go ahead and talk to God that he's talking to into letting him be reborn in the same world with her. Although there's caveats. He can't become a hero like she is. There's only one hero allowed at a time. So he has to become something different, which means he's got to become a monster. And unfortunately, in that world, monsters don't go to the afterlife after they die. So all he can do is get a chance to go and hang out with his wife and help her become the best she can be and help her survive for as long as she can. So Albert finds himself reincarnated as a boa, a simple snake that progressively evolves into a more powerful iteration of reptilian monsters as he grows. Now, the book is basically his quest to eat. He's a gluttonous serpent. So all he wants to do is fill his belly. And I get that. You know, I mean, I like filling my belly. And if I could eat things and make myself stronger and more powerful, I would be like the Incredible Hulk right now, green and everything. Because I love, like, if it was like go out and eat 10 hamburgers, man, I would have that power in about 10 minutes. So he ends up having to eat certain things to achieve certain goals, to become this or that. And he has different options. Do you want to become a rock boa? Or do you want to become, a earth boa? Or do you want to become a water boa? Or do you want to become this or that? So as he goes through, do you become the fire or this or that? Each choice he makes gives him different opportunities later on, and it cuts off other things. And basically, the whole book is essentially about him attempting to become stronger via evolutions. And there's just points where it kind of has him doing this, and this really fast, getting his evolutions. And then it kind of stalls out as he does things with different characters throughout the book. Basically, he meets, a few people, very few people, a handful of druids that he befriends along the way. And he somehow manages to step on the toe of a few gods, even though he doesn't have any feet. So all he does is just want to become more powerful so he can help his wife when she does come along. Now, sorry, I'm having a little bit of issue here. I'm talking too fast. There were really only two small issues that I had with the book. First, Albert generally has the perspective of a man who's very comfortable being in a snake's body. In other words, it's less of a monstrous POV point of view than that of an old man that just kind of happens to be a snake. I would have liked to have seen him kind of arguing with himself as to, why do I feel like this? Why should I want to strike? Why would I want to do this? Because he's pretty easily, he's like, okay, I just want to eat these guys. It's okay because they're meat. And that's what I do. I eat things. I would like to have seen him struggle a little bit more ethically about what he does sometimes. Also, kind of have conflict. Like my human brain says this, but my lizard brain, which has got more oomph because I'm in a snake now, kind of wants me to go this route. I would like to have seen a kind of a bit of a struggle, some sort of dichotomy, like, do I do this or that? And that didn't really happen. It was just kind of like this old guy who's like really cool with being a snake, which is fine. But, it would have added a little bit more drama to the story. The other thing is, I really would have liked to have seen him panic a little bit, at least when he started off, having no arms or legs and having to crawl on his belly, basically learning to be a snake. And I think like the only thing that really kind of came out was like he kind of inchworms. He learns to inchworm himself to move for a while rather than just slithering. He kind of crunches himself up and goes and crunches himself up and goes. And that was pretty much the only struggle he ever had becoming a snake. Beyond that, and really the big thing is he really doesn't have any challenges that he has to face. I mean, yeah, he's got big monsters that he fights, but really, it's not that he readily defeats everything, but I really didn't ever seem to have a sense of he's going to fall or fail or this is going to happen not so well for him. He kind of goes through and defeats whatever he encounters as the game goes on, as the book goes on, I should say, readily. I mean, he kind of outwits his foes, which is fine. If you're looking for OP, then this is the perfect thing. But I would have liked to have seen him struggle a little bit more. There's points where he gets hurt, but he's kind of like, ow, that was a bad thing. I'll have a scar. So I would have liked to have seen him get really hurt a couple times and get really almost wiped out and feel it, because even if it did happen, I never really felt any kind of attention towards that. He's kind of like, I'll just push on through and win. And he does that. And he's really good at fighting. And I give him a lot of credit because he does adjust to that role very easily. So again, I don't want to say he's overpowered, but it kind of comes across that way in some aspects. Other than that, I mean, the story is really good. The characters, from the 10-year-old elf to the grandma elf to the druid that's married to the warg and has kids, they're all very believable, very well crafted. They're three-dimensional. They're very enjoyable to listen to, which is where I'm going to go into next is Travis Baldree. Now, wait, didn't I just review Travis Baldree the last time I did this, I think, with First Blood? So I'm going to have to make sure I don't do him, next time around. I'll do a different narrator. I'm trying to get SBT stuff in here, but I haven't gotten the platform yet. So I'll get to that as soon as I can. Now, Travis is a great narrator who continues a really high level of excellence. I found that his female voices have really improved over time. I mean, I can remember listening to him before, and this last time I listened, his female voices were really powerful. I won't say they're as good as Jeff's, but they're there. They're spot on. And I do want to just once more say, if you really want to read a good Travis Baldree story, pick up Dog Walker. I can't talk enough about that book. So anyway, his female voice has improved. And I could tell, like, for example, the young and enthusiastic druid from the tired of sex mother who's married to the warg quite easily. They're very distinctive voices, and you definitely feel either the exuberance or the exhaustion of one and the other and anyone in between, whatever they're doing. Even the serpent, there's a Leviathan that tries to kill him. Her voice is still female. It's feminine, but it's very powerful. So I give him a lot of credit. I mean, he really did a great job here, especially in portraying the different characters. So overall, A Snake's Life was short. It's only a few hours long in comparison to most things, but it's an exciting listen that I will happily continue. I've already bought the next book. I do want to see how things work out for Torga, which is Albert's name as a snake, and his yet to be born bride. My final score is 8 stars. It left me wanting more, but I didn't feel the struggle that I think I should have gotten, and as I wanted, as toward a fought bigger and better foes. So I think 8 stars is really appropriate because it kind of says I'm good, but I have things I could work on to get even better, and that's great because I like a really good, strong first impression. He did it to me, but I would like to see more from Arant in the future. So 8 stars.
Good
Awesome.
work. 8 stars. Yeah, Travis Baldry, I've been kind of peripherally keeping an eye on him, and he keeps getting better,
He's an
and
excellent narrator.
and he's one of the guys that started his own label
Yeah,
as
he was on
well,
Discord.
right? He's got his own imprint.
Mhm.
What is it called? Someone help me out here. Anyone?
Is it an audiobook one or is it his video game company?
Yeah, I think it's his audiobook one. Does he have an audiobook imprint? Like a
I don't
I know this was a Shadow
he-
Alley book. So
that one's Shadow
Oh.
Alley, okay.
Yeah.
He runs Double Damage Games, isn't he? Isn't that right? I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
yeah, I don't know.
Cryptid Audio.
Cryptid Audio.
Yes. So I hope that maybe we can pave a little bit of a way, and he can start his own thing, and maybe we'll be competing and increasing demand for each other and doing a lot of stuff, man. I mean, like that'd be amazing, man. I want to see more companies doing this stuff. Speaking of, we have